all about humanity.
And here we go again. Welcome in, everyone. I can see people joining. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are coming in from around the world. I'm Brian, the UK Bitcoin Master, and this is the Bullish Bitcoin channel. Welcome in. Today is Thursday, the 6th of March, 2025. And as always, strong Bitcoin hand. Let me get the preliminaries out of the way. Don't come looking for financial advice, people. You're not going to find it. I'm just some regular guy from the UK that wants to rant a bit about his passion for Bitcoin. What do I know? Do your own research. That's really important. If you want to support the show, there you go. There's a QR code if you want to buy the show a cup of coffee. And if you do that live, you would get a shout out on the show. But again, you don't have to. I don't expect it. Very quickly, go into the show notes, please, and follow me somewhere else. This channel has been taken down once already. There is no reason it couldn't happen again, because the first time it happened for no reason. So, well worth following somewhere else. If you go and find this link in the show notes, this goes out on Rumble. It goes out. There is a backup channel, UK Bitcoiner, which is there in case everything fails. And this one gets taken down. I'm moving my streaming software over there. Well worth following me somewhere. Also, well worth, if you're not on it, considering getting on the Orange Pill app. The Orange Pill app is an app for Bitcoiners. You can connect with people all around the world using your app. But again, don't take my word for it. Take the word of somebody that's really prominent in the Bitcoin space.
I'm so excited to share that I have joined Orange Pill app as an advisor. If you haven't downloaded this app yet, you are missing out on connecting with Bitcoiners in your area. The Orange Pill app is building the social layer for Bitcoin and helping to create opportunities for in-person connections and community building. You can create a profile and you will see lots of familiar faces there. And then you can search for Bitcoiners or Bitcoin events based on your location. I am geotagged in my home base, St. Louis, and I'm super grateful because the Orange Pill app has helped connect me with Bitcoiners in my new city. So come join us, download the Orange Pill app, and head to theorangepillapp.com for more information.
In fact, there's the link there if you want to get 5,000 sats upon registering. I had a word with Matteo from Orange Pill app last week. It used to be 10,000, but he said as the price of Bitcoin goes up, they've got to lower the amount of sats that somebody gets for joining, clearly because they're worth more in dollar terms. And I sort of get that and I respect it. But it is well worth getting on there. I'm connected with Natalie, BTC Ben, Knut Svanholm, to name a handful. Seyfedina Moose, Samson Mao. It is well worth getting on the Orange Pill app. But here's the thing. I get an email every time somebody uses my link, and I'm shocked at how many people register on the app but never subscribe to it. It's staggering. Call yourself a Bitcoiner. You need to subscribe to it, people, and utilize it. The conversations that go in the groups that we're in, UK Bitcoiners and a couple of others, is fantastic, and you can pick up something all the time. So go over there. You should also check out the Best of Exmoor. They are the show sponsors. They are a Bitcoin company, as you can see top left, and they've got so many properties, holiday locations, 200, I believe, in the southwest corner of the UK. It is called Exmoor National Park, and I'm telling you, Exmoor is absolutely beautiful. It really is. And there's something there for everyone. So check it out. Scan the QR code. If you eventually want a holiday at some point in the future, yep, you can pay in currency or Bitcoin. It is your call. There's also a discount code there as well. But that said, enough of that. I needed to get that out of the way. I try to condense that down as much as I can for you all. You'll never see me having a show sponsor that is a crap coiner or anything that tells me what I've got to say on my show. So, There you go, is what it is. Right, let's see who we've got in my chat. I can see Chelsea Baz is in the house. JB Bitcoiner is with us. Eddie Willis is here. John G. BitcoinMaster. Yeah, White House meeting on Friday. Could be news. Who knows? Elaine Mrs. UK is in the house. In fact, she is in the house. She's downstairs. Steve Redding, good to see you. Big Mike is with us. Hello, Mike. Johnny Midas is in the house. Matthias Forsberg. Hello from Sweden. Welcome, Sweden. Good to have you in the house. We got Wealth Ranger. BTC dumped 4% today. So much for the supply shock. Yawn. Zoom out. I've been holding my Bitcoin for nearly 8 years, people. You hold it for 4 years, 8 years, 10 years, 12 years, and you will not be worrying about 4% dumps. Get over it. But welcome, Wealth Ranger. Good to have you in the house. Big G is with us. Welcome. Who else have we got? Stacking Richie. Good to see you live, dude. Mr. W. Good to see you, mate. Yorkie Bitcoin is in the house. Rocky Palumbo is with us. Torp Hoddle, live again, dude. What's going on? Great to have you in the house. I think that's about it for now. If you want to shout out, just type in UKBitcoinMaster and a message, and it will light up for me, and I'll gladly give you a shout out. Wealth Ranger bought last week and expecting to sell this week. Yeah. Now listen, don't make fun of people that are, worried about it, because we're all new at some point. We're all fearful of, have we invested in something and we're going to lose our money, etc. So I don't know anything about Wealth Ranger apart from it is great to have them in the house. Welcome. It's good to have you here. Okay. So I want to get into what's going on. Obviously, you would have seen the thumbnail. We will get into that. But of course, this is a Bitcoin news show. What is going on? What can we expect, etc. So let's get over to the desktop right now and have a look. People are freaking out over this. Ancient Bitcoin wallet moves 22 million in Bitcoin after 14 years. Now, based on what we just talked about with Wealth Ranger there, 14 years. Isn't it pretty fair that you want to take some profits if you've been holding something for 14 years? I don't know what that means. Bitcoin could have been under $50, $100. I don't know, but flipping heck. If you're not telling me you wouldn't take something off the table and it says it's moved, it doesn't say they're sold. Anyways, have a look. 6 ancient Bitcoin addresses holding a total of 250 Bitcoin. That's not a lot of Bitcoin. Nearly 22 million worth at today's price moved the assets to new locations Monday after sitting untouched for all these years. Those years. That could simply be they're moving it to a better, newer wallet. They're not selling. But the point is, if they did, who could blame them? Blockchain data shows that the wallets are so old they used legacy addresses, those first used when the protocol went live. Such addresses are now seldom used for sending and receiving Bitcoin. So there's security issues around them. So maybe they've upgraded and moved them to newer BC1 addresses, etc. So there could be so many reasons these Bitcoin could have moved. But why people are freaking out, I've seen some threads on Twitter. It's like, what? Get a life, people. Crikey. 14 years, anybody would take a little bit of profit. The Winklevoss are weighing in on this nation state Bitcoin reserve, etc. Cameron Winklevoss urges nations to stockpile Bitcoin before it's too late. So the game theory is on. It is really on, people. Gemini Crypto Exchange founder Cameron Winklevoss says a strategic Bitcoin reserve is a must, not a choice, and that nations delaying Bitcoin stockpiling will face higher cost, diminished geopolitical influence, and a major loss of financial sovereignty. I couldn't agree more with that. Quote, a strategic Bitcoin reserve is really not a choice. If you look at the game theory and national security ramifications, it's a must. Like rare earth minerals, gold, oil, etc., any country needs to stockpile these resources to increase self-sufficiency and reduce leverage of its adversaries, Winklevoss wrote on X on Monday. So don't listen to me when I talk about the game theory kicking in. you've got some big players that are now all saying the same thing. Now, sure, they invested, I believe, $11 million into Bitcoin when it was hardly worth anything, a couple of dollars or something. I read the book Bitcoin Billionaires, and it was in there. Great book as well, by the way, what they did and how they, geographically spread their keys and all that sort of stuff. It's a good book to read, actually. Something easy for me to read. I like sort of stories like that, how they smashed up their laptops into a million pieces once they'd created their keys and all that sort of stuff. Fascinating book, Bitcoin Billionaires. Well worth a look. So they're weighing in. You've got Cynthia Lummis on Fox News. She said, I spend dollars, but I save in Bitcoin. And that was the Fox anchor here saying, but you went to the Pub Key rest bar in New York and you paid in dollars. And that's what she answered. I spend dollars because they're losing value, and I save in Bitcoin. There's actually a picture of her there. I don't know if that's Matt Odell. I don't think it is on the left, but she's in the Pub Key bar there where Trump was in, and he bought some food with Bitcoin. The point is, we wouldn't have had any of this 3 or 4 years ago, even 2022. Bitcoiners were the laughing stock of the world after the SPX collapse and everything else that happened. You've got this going on. Whoops, hang on a second. That's not working. There you go. El Salvador's Bukele vows to continue Bitcoin purchases despite the IMF deal. I'm not going to try and break all that deal down for you. It is out there. Go and find out. But apparently the IMF have sort of said to them, you can't buy Bitcoin with the money we're giving you, and Bukele, as always, is coming out in total defiance of that. El Salvador President Nayib Bukele said the country will not stop purchasing Bitcoin despite its deal with the IMF to scale back Bitcoin activities. Quote, no, it's not stopping, Bukele wrote on X on Tuesday. If it didn't stop when the world ostracized us and most Bitcoiners abandoned us, don't quite know what he's getting at there, it won't stop now and it won't stop in the future. And here's a tweet from Watcher Guru. El Salvador President Nayib Bukele says the country will not stop purchasing Bitcoin for its strategic reserve. And then we go and see this one, where on March the 5th, yesterday, they bought yet another Bitcoin. I can only say in total defiance of the IMF. Now, I don't want to get into the potential ramifications of that, what the IMF could do, may do to them if they give them this 1.4 billion and then they keep buying Bitcoin. I don't know the ins and outs of all of that. All I know is, with every country around the world that was going to do this and was going to do that, at least the guy has held firm on solid stance of Bitcoiners and kicking crap coin companies out of the country. So I don't think you can really fault him for that, even if you want to fault him for other things. Okay. Plan B says bull market at new crossroads following the deep correction. I don't know why he's saying deep correction. I believe it was around 30%, which is about 6 of them in 2017. So deep correction, anyway, doesn't matter. So let's have a read. Based on historic precedents, the analyst says Bitcoin is likely to rally from current prices and print new all-time highs. Now, none of us have got a crystal ball, but here we are. We're in year 4 of an epoch, which is the year after the halving, which traditionally has always been a mega bull year. 2017, it 20x'd. We saw what happened in 2021. We're now in 2025. So, unless there's some kind of massive, crazy manipulation, why can't we see a bull run, even if it's 2 or 3x from here instead of 20x? You're still looking at roughly a 300,000 Bitcoin. So who would grumble at that? I know I certainly wouldn't. It goes on. Yes, quote, yes, it has been at this crossroads each and every halving cycle. In all cycles, the market has chosen bull FOMO, or fear of missing out, from here. But we have had only 4 cycles, not really enough to say something statistically sound. Fingers crossed for the 5th cycle. And he's right there. Past performance is not indicative Whoa, swallows the dictionary there of what can happen in the future. You should never base your thoughts on where Bitcoin is going based on what has happened in the past. People, don't do it. Okay? All we're saying is if history repeats, we could see an incredible end to 2025. I think that's all he's saying, and I think that's all any of us can say. I'm of the opinion, and we all tick differently. For me, it is about preparing for the worst, and anything above that is a massive positive. If you prepare for $1 million Bitcoin and it doesn't happen, then you set up for failure, you feel flat, and all the rest of it. If you say, well, if we 2x from here, great, and it 10x's, you can go, God, flipping awesome, if you take my point. So I'm not a doomer. I just believe that Bitcoin is going to do what it's going to do when it's going to do it without either intervention from you or I or anybody else. And we just have to let this thing play out and have low time preference. Learn to zoom out and stack and hold for a decade. That's the advice I give to anybody I'm orange pilling. Zoom out and be prepared to hold for 10 years. Set it, forget it. Dollar cost average if that's what you're doing, lump sum in if that's what you're doing, set it and forget it, and then get on with your life, because life is fleeting. And I'm telling you from personal experience, it goes by so ruddy fast. 1 minute you're 21, next minute you're nearly 66, and you think, where the hell did that go? So enjoy life, people. That's my take. BlackRock. There are not enough Bitcoin for every millionaire in the USA alone. This doesn't even take into account the rest of the world. Larry Fink is referring to the US alone here. BlackRock, the largest asset manager in the world, has spoken about Bitcoin and its intrinsic value. Among the various things said, BlackRock also highlighted the limited supply of Bitcoin, stating that if every millionaire in the United States asked their financial advisor to get them one Bitcoin, there wouldn't be enough. There wouldn't be enough for half a Bitcoin each. So anyone on this call that's got half a Bitcoin or more, way to go. You are front running all the millionaires out there that have got their head in their sand. They think Bitcoin is crazy. It's got no value. It's going to zero. I could say yada, 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 yada. Yeah. Just front run them all, because eventually everyone and everything, in my opinion, will come to Bitcoin. That's just my opinion, remember. No financial advice here. From Pete Rizzo, the Bitcoin historian. U.S. Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick says strategic Bitcoin reserve will be announced at Trump White House summit. Other tokens will be treated positively but differently. This is massive. Now, we don't know. It's taking place, I believe, tomorrow at the White House, and there's all sorts of rumors out there that they are going to announce a Bitcoin reserve and a crap coin somewhere else. But again, we don't know. We are just speculating. But here's what I would say. If this did play out, probably so would this play out. Are you ready, people? Lutnick says the Bitcoin strategic reserve is coming next week. This was a tweet from a few days back. So we don't know. But if they come out and announce that, what you got to understand is the rest of the world, all the eyes of the world are on the US. They're on what Trump does. And if Trump comes out and announces a strategic Bitcoin reserve for the US nation, watch what happens around the world, people. And then everybody and their dog will be scrambling to get their hands on some Bitcoin. They really will. Okay, back to the desktop. What else? The Bitcoin therapist tweeted, billionaire Ricardo Salinas reports 70% allocation to Bitcoin in his portfolio and 30% to gold. And he owns no bonds, which is really powerful. This is a 4 billion Bitcoin position. So if you're a regular pleb, if you're just a regular person like you, me, and everyone on this call, you've got billionaires coming out and saying they've got 70% of their net worth in Bitcoin. You got people like Paul Tudor Jones saying all roads to it lead to inflation, and the inflation hedges he's got are Bitcoin and gold. Stanley Druckenmiller. There are so many names I could come out with. And for me, I'm running a Bitcoin show. So what I can't do is stand on here or sit and scream at how I feel. But how I feel is I feel so blessed to have front run many of these millionaires, billionaires, institutions, nation states, and got in before them. And as they get in after us, they pump our bags. Think about that. As another nation state joins, as another millionaire stroke billionaire invests in Bitcoin, as another company, adopts the strategy playbook, they will be front running your Bitcoin, your family's wealth for the future. I find that really profound because, most people walk through 60, 70 years on this earth and they just walk by opportunities left, right and centre, and they just dust themselves down as if it doesn't matter. To be able to be given an opportunity like this is not just a business opportunity. It's not a business opportunity. It is an opportunity to partake in the money of the world changing like we've never seen before. And all you got to do is buy and hold and stop looking at the charts every 10 minutes, he says, constantly looking at my phone, which I do. I run a show. I want to know what's going on, but most people shouldn't. You don't need to. As long as you've secured your Bitcoin, it's locked up in a cold storage hardware wallet and your seed words are safe and secure. Just get out there and enjoy your life. Do what we're put on this earth to do, people. That said, I'm at bursting point with everything that's happening in 2025. And maybe, just maybe, the real explosive growth is ahead of us for the rest of this year. Just a maybe. I don't know. But, when you've got billionaires like this coming out and saying what they're saying, that's a big deal, people. Simply Bitcoin tweeted, Samson Mao, buying Bitcoin under 0.1 of a million or 100,000 is the opportunity of a lifetime. And I so agree with that. People say, how can you say that when Bitcoin is, like 88,000, nearly 89,000? Well, think about it. There's 8 billion people on planet Earth, give or take. Okay? There are 21 million coins only ever going to be out there. Maybe 4 or 5 million are lost or locked up like Satoshis and other people that have lost their keys and their coins. Maybe the world is going to have to share in 15, 16 or 17 million coins divided with 8 billion divided into 17 million. You do your own maths. They reckon around 10% of the world now hold some kind of crypto. But I'll tell you something, when you look at that wealth pyramid that I nicked from James at Invest Answers, where it showed that if you own 0.133 of a coin, you'd be in the top 5% of Bitcoiners on planet Earth. That friggin' tells you how early we are. Carlinasia, welcome. UKBitcoinMaster, you sell your Bitcoin at 1 million USD? No. I sell my Bitcoin at nothing. Why? I'm waiting for the safe and secure loans to come out against it. So if my loan is, I'm paying back 8% interest and Bitcoin is growing at 50% per year, I will loan against my coins and keep them for generations. No way. So you want to know if I'm bullish enough? No. My wife will tell you. She's in the chat. We've got enough to retire on right now. We choose not to because I refuse to give governments 10, 20, 30, 40% capital gains tax on money that I invested that they've already taxed me on. And then they want to tax me up to 30% again. No thanks. What have they done? I've done the proof of work for the last nearly 8 years, and they ain't taking 30% of it for sitting on their lazy fat asses and doing nothing and bleeding regular people like us dry in taxes. No way, not happening. Borrow against your Bitcoin, die with positive debt, and then your people that you leave behind, they won't get roped into paying massive inheritance, capital gains, and all the rest of it. Sorry, that was a little bit of a rant, but no way. It doesn't matter what it's doing. Remember what Saylor said. You never sell the hardest asset humanity has ever seen into crappy fiat that is being debased every year by 6, 8, 10% or whatever it is, wherever you live in the world. Why would you do that? If you sell your Bitcoin, what are you going to use that for? Apart from some lifestyle chips, loan against it, live off your Bitcoin, don't ever sell your Bitcoin. Rant over, we move on. I saw this, which I thought was awesome. Just to finish the show, from Tales from the Crypt. Hiker carries Bitcoin flag to the top of Mount Everest. I thought that was absolutely superb. Bitcoiners are getting everywhere. And we are right at the forefront of all of it. And if that doesn't make you bullish, people, I don't know what will. I really don't. Okay, quote of the day. Love it. From Walt Disney. The difference in winning and losing is most often not quitting. Now think about that in a Bitcoin context. Winners and losers. The losers are the ones that invest. They want to make a load of money by next week or next month, and they see their investment drop 20%, freak out and say, I'm going to get out now while I've still got some left. The winners, they ride out the storms. They ride out the bear markets. Anyone that's finding my channel for the first time, please go back and find some of my old videos from 2018 and 2019 when we were in the depths of the bear market, and I defy any one of you to find one single live stream that I did in those years, and 21, 22 and 23, where you will find me negative on Bitcoin. They simply don't exist. This is video number 701. There is enough for you to go back and look at that I'm not BSing anyway. I am seriously bullish on Bitcoin long term. Do I like it when we zoom up and zoom down 10K ago? No, we're humans. We all feel that emotion. But long term, I'm extremely bullish on where this thing is going. Okay, so if you want to support me, and you don't have to, I want to stress that. But some people have said, somebody on Rumble the other day said, how can we support you? There you go. If you don't want to get rid of some of your sats, there's 4 addresses. You can buy a cup of coffee. There's the QR code from anywhere in the world. Okay, and it will just come in. I'll get a notification, and I always say it is not required, but it is always appreciated. That's how I roll. You'll notice this YouTube channel is not monetized. I do not run this show to try and make money at it. I run this show because I want to try and help noobs not get wrecked by the ever-mounting numbers of crappy coins out there that are pump and dumps designed just to pump, take your money, and then dump, take the money, and you're left with the bags and you've got nothing left. No. So it's not monetized. So any donations, not required. But if somebody does donate, I always really appreciate them. Johnny Midas, you can support me with a hug, Elaine. What are you like, Johnny Midas? I'm sure Johnny Midas from California only comes on my show to flirt with my lovely wife. Johnny Midas, you know I'm only kidding. But yeah, I'll give you a slap when I see you in person. That's following the hug. Right, that's it. I'm done. That's another Thursday show over. All it leaves me to do is say, do your own research, people. Tweet this out. Subscribe if you're new to the channel. Every Monday, every Thursday at 6 p.m. London time, UK time, 1 p.m. Eastern, apart from when the clocks change in a few weeks, and it's slightly different. I go live and I simply rant about Bitcoin for approximately 30 minutes. Come and join me. I'd really appreciate the numbers to grow. I want the numbers to grow here, not for monetary gain, just to prove I can do it. Because I'm a regular guy that for over 20 years of his life drove big trucks. So I'm not a finance guy. I just want to prove to everybody around me that laughs at me that I can build a big channel. Nothing to do with money, everything to do with subs. So get some people subbing to my channel. Come on. Anyway, have a great morning, afternoon, evening, weekend, whatever you're doing. Please go into the show, chat room, chat section. Once the stream is end, refresh your browser, the comment section, and leave a comment because it really does help with that frigging YouTube algorithm. But for now, I'm done. Have a great morning, afternoon, evening, weekend, wherever you are. I'm out of here, and I'll be back on Monday, 6 p.m. London, with another live show.
Bitcoin and things like it is the equivalent of the red pill.